wake up, folks. Wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Guess we're all asleep for something or another, right? And we're back in the swing. Oh, yes. Yes, sir. All set. All right. Yes, sir. See you soon. You're welcome. All right, friends. So today, question and answer. I'm gonna go through a couple of comments that people have, and if anyone have something that they want to bring to the front of the class, let me know. Ask a question, and I'll do my best to answer. Just getting myself together here while I'm doing. I had a couple of stuff to take care of. But that's just the nature of our show here. Okay. And we're gonna get started in a second. Turn this on. Let's turn this off. All right. And let's see what else we got cooking on. Refresh. Ah, interesting. I'm not able to see anything. All right. Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit more. Let me pull up these comments here, and let's see where we are. Let's see what's going on and who we can help if and if we can, I'll be more than happy to. Okay. You know, it's funny. There are certain things that people have no clue how it works, or is that me? Yeah, I think that's me.
Hey, Wayne.
Hey.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. That's right. Wrapped it nice and tight. Thanks a lot.
What is in there? Air?
It's a
Very
wand.
light.
It's a wand, but it's I don't know. I guess where you gonna find boxes? Well, I have boxes like for wands. See right there. So, but no, normally it looked like they put two boxes together. Yeah, that's fine. I'm glad I got it.
All right, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You take it easy, right?
All right. Enjoy the day, man.
Yes,
It's gonna be
sir.
Nice out there. It's
Oh
already
yeah.
nice.
Oh yeah.
A lot different than what we had about a week ago. That snow, man.
Yeah. A week ago, and then a week before that is the weekends is kind of
the
smack
ice and then you had the snow. Yeah, I had to work in it, man. I left at I finished the route at 11:30, and went home. They told us to go out, and then around 12 they said come back before 12 o'clock. We don't want anybody out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, why even send us out there when you knew that it was going to be treacherous out there? That's just what they do. Man. But,
Hey man.
I just.
You just followed the program,
I was the
right?
only one that finished my route.
Are you serious? That's positive.
Nobody else finished the route, man.
That's positive, man.
I just wanted everybody to get their mail.
That's right. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'll see you later.
Alrighty. Oh, that's a cool cat. I remember. Let me see if I can pull up the live. I remember that there was a guy that an office I worked in New York. It was actually on Gun Hill Road in the Bronx, and this guy, every winter. Now New York winters are like intense, right? And every winter they have a challenge to see how long they can go in shorts, right? Hey Jax, what's up, man? How long they can go in shorts. So Jax, you're on the overhead version of this show. And vertical. Let me see where we. Let me try to pull that one up too, Jax. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Hold on. Let me open the other one now. Let me see who's in the more like call it the cell phone feed. All right. I'm gonna call it the. Let's do it like that, right? Jax on the traditional camera feed, and let me open up the cell phone. Well, let me go back one more. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me put it on, save. All right. And I'm going into the cell phone feed. Who's in there? Ooh, look at that, man. You guys are Jax. I don't know, man. You may want to join these guys over here. We got Rudy, Brienne. All right, and is that Ketty? Is that Ketty? Turkey. All right, Ketty. All right, Jax. You know what I'm gonna do? I am going to give you the. Can I share this? Let me see if I can share this, Jax. Let me see if I can share this. Hold on. Hey, Calvin, long time, bro. Jack, I'm going to give you the link to the other one where the crew is hanging out. All right? Hold on. Paste. Boom. The crew's hanging out over here right now, Jax, just so you know. All right? Let me go back. Let me double back. Sorry, guys. I just got to get this. I got to get this done first. You know? Okay. All right, so I got them both up. Okay, now I can see both. Jax is in the house now. He's here. Brienne. All right. So, first things first. First things first, guys. I'm going to check on something. Let me put the overhead here. I got to have this overhead done, man, because it's for business. It's business, guys. It's a business reason I'm doing it. Here we go. It's business. The vertical, which is still best for reaching the most amount of people. They're very slick, but it's business. What can I say? So I have to have them both running, honestly, for us to be able to progress anywhere. Anyway, how do you call a deer without eyes? How do you call a deer without eyes, folks? Who can give me the answer for this one? How do you call it? How do you? Am I saying this right? How do you call a deer without eyes? Let's see. Let me get to the other one. Hold on. I gotta make sure I can see both of them at the same time. Okay, there we go. How do you call a deer without? Oh man, I gotta be able to have them both up at the same time. How do you do that? How do you do that? You know what? I'm gonna figure it out. Oh, where do I buy my parts? Steel City Vacuums. I used to go through Esco also, but they're out of business. I got a great app on my phone where I can buy all genuine parts from. Oh, really? Man, let me know where it is, man. Cause I try to get my parts, but I use my business thing, so I get them at a certain price, kind of deal, you know, versus retail and taxes and all that stuff. So, but let me know, man. Everything is good. You know, I'll try every avenue, because trust me, I've even purchased parts from I purchased parts from eBay and all that stuff too, if I had to, because if it's necessary, you know. Look like this broke, this tip. Huh. Is this stuck? No. Or I Either that or I don't know how to use this. How's that? How do you get this thing out of here? It looks like you charge it through here. All right, let me see. Learn about new things. Who's this one? This is Craftman. Let's see. Look like it's charged through here. Is it charging? There's no indicator. There's no light. Oh, is there a light? There's no light. That tells me that it's charging. All right, I'm gonna put this guy to the side then for now. I'll leave him charging for a second, and then I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna put a brush in a. It's a simple job, nothing complicated about it. But what I can at least explain a little bit is what would trigger me to think that the brush needs to be replaced, right? There was a sound going on, all right? There was rattling sound. And Epstein Island, I don't know what that means. There was a sound going on, and it's rattling, right? Sometimes you think it's a fan blade. You're not sure what's going on, right? So at home, what you can do, or if you're working on the vacuum, you're just getting into the business or whatever. You know, you take out your brush, right? Because we're doing some problem solving. Did I say hi to Brienne? No idea. Ah, Brienne, no idea. So she got the answer. How do you call a deer without eyes? No idea. Nice, girl. Nice, nice, nice. I can always count on Brienne to catch the stuff. Look what just happened here, right? So this is the reason right here. This is the reason for this thing being messed up. And sometimes you think it's fan blade, or you're not sure what the noise is. Start removing movable parts from your vacuum, right? So when you hear a noise, rattling as you're vacuuming, you just say, you know what? Okay, let me do this. Let me stop. Let me stop for a second. Okay, if it's rattling, something is making the noise, right? And I just remove the brush, turn it on, see if it still sounds like it's rattling, and then if it doesn't sound like that anymore, then bam, you realize that this is what's going on. The other part about brushes, a guy bought in a brush, a machine, a Dirt Devil, and I could have checked it in and charge him, you know, because if you check it in, you're gonna I'm gonna charge you more than if I just help you real quick to fix it. And I was like, man, this thing is, I know what the problem is. I'm seeing the guy, he has, you know, just starting out, trying to get his first apartment kind of thing. I'm like, look, man, let's see if we can figure out the problem real quick, right? He says, every time I put it on, it just breaks. I put it on, it breaks. I put it on, it breaks. I put it on, it breaks. I'm like, damn. Okay. So I try to help him over the phone. I said, why don't you do this? Why don't you spin the brush, and if it spins freely, right? If it spins like without any problem. Now, obviously, I'm just demonstrating with this, but this brush is not going to be the one. But okay, I'll do this. If it does this and it stops, and you can hardly, you're flicking it hard with your finger, and you can hardly move it, then the brush is probably what's causing the problem. Your brush is supposed to be able to spin if you hold it and you flick it, right? You're supposed to be able to spin the brush. Even this is a little tighter than it should be. You're supposed to be able to spin the brush freely. Let me get a brush from up top. I don't know why this brush is so tight right now. Right? And see that? That's the look. Right? Flick. And if you can flick it, then you're good. Then everything should be fine. Right? This is the new brush. And this one is a little bit tighter than I would like. This is probably a little bit. See how this is loose on this end? And this end, I can feel resistance, like it's rubbing. Yeah. You know what I'm checking for? I'm checking to see if they had any felt on the inside or something. Let's try this. Let's flip these. Let's pop them the other side. I don't like the way this brush is. No. So that means the rough fit is not these. It's not the end caps, right? Because you switched out the end caps. The rough fit has to do with this guy in here. Now the bearing is loose. The bearing is loose, right? Okay. Well, all right. We'll see. We'll see. Jacks. Yeah, Clean Max is so easy to fix. Clean Max remind me of, it's like an Auric, right? Clean Max is like an Auric. It's just a motor, a belt. I love basic machines. I'll be honest with you. It's not because it's easy. I don't want nothing complicated because I love the challenge of learning. But knowing what you're going to experience, the basic machines are better, right? The complication from having the machines that has to communicate the little things, and it's not because they're so advanced kind of thing. No, it's because what I don't want for myself is that if one thing on a basic machine goes, like a sensor, then it's shutting the whole thing down. And that's my only drawback on the machines that have multiple circuit boards and all this other stuff. And yes, it's fancy and it can throw out steam, and then it can suck it up, and it can call your mom, and it can iron your clothes, and all that stuff is great. But if like the sensor that determines, let's say the sensor says, I don't know, it can pick up if there's dirt or whatever, and that sensor's busted. Now you can't use the whole vacuum. And I'm like, dude, I don't even need the sensor. I vacuum without the sensor, right? So I have no problem with all the fancy stuff. Just don't make it with that one thing that is just an add-on is gonna shut the whole machine down. That's probably where I get. That's my problem. Hold on, I gotta check to see if. Hey guys, can you hear me over here on this side? I'm looking at something squeezing my volume over here, and I want to make sure that's not doing the case. Hey Wayne, quick question. How far do you go into the machines? I've always removed the motor and washed the parts. What about you? You can hear me? Okay, great. Not all the time. Not all the time. If it's not something that's necessary, like yesterday when we had that that sheetrock machine, yes, I would do that for that. And I'm glad you, because my conscience is keep telling me to go further. So because it's not automatic for me to do that, I don't do it all the time, right? If I'm tuning up a machine, yes. If I'm changing a brush, no. If I'm changing a brush, I'm just gonna change the brush and be done with it. If I notice something is going on with it, then yeah, I will go further in, right? Like like a sound like this one here. Like the sound was the problem, so I wanted to also make sure that the fan blade wasn't on its way out also. So for this particular machine, I went into the motor also because it has to do with sound. I knew that, what I would hate is that the moment I put the belt on, then there's another strain. Like maybe the motor shaft and the brush, you can also have a problem with these two guys. If the moment you put that belt on, it's pulling at the motor, right? The strain is pulling the motor, and it's also pulling at the brush, right? So these two things, like the motor can run fine without the belt on, okay? The motor's fine. And then the moment you put the belt on, now that the tension is on it, that can create another problem. So I wanted to make sure that wasn't an issue, so I went in on this one. You see what I'm saying? So not all the time. Not all the time. All right? If it's specifically tune-ups, yeah, I want to see what's going on. I'm going to go into the motor. I'm going to look at the carbon brushes, the commutator, and all that good stuff. But if it's just like, Wayne, my tank is leaking, it's a shampooer, no, I'm not going to be going into the motor for something like that. Okay? And that's just my personal thing. All right? Just like if you went in to change a tire in a car, he's probably not going to be checking your transmission. You know, he's probably going to check the car. But if you went in and you say, hey, listen, this is what's going on. It's not gearing right. I'm also smelling oil. Then he may check your motor, and then he's going to go check your transmission. But he's probably not going to check your brakes. Okay, so I play it by ear like that. Okay, how's that? Sorry that I went long on that one, guys. But I just wanted to make sure I was absolutely clear to answer your question properly. All right. So what we have a someone is asking a question about. Let me pull this up real quick before I go any further. And I'm gonna get a belt and put it on this machine here, and then we're gonna test it out and see what's going on. Where are you? Where are you, young lady? Where are you? Where are you? Okay, here we go. Let's see. Let me see if these guys over here can see it. All right, you guys won't be able to see it on the vertical, but I'll read it out to you. Community, where are you, man? Come on now. Sweet. Okay, so let's see what question we have here. Okay. Oh my God, you're a genius. It worked. Hey, look at that, Brienne. Someone's calling me a genius. Is that cool? Okay. What was this one about? This was about the Hoover Power Scrub. It was leaking. Okay, we've covered this many times on the channel. The Hoover Power Scrub have a pump on the side. Okay, even the new ones where you connect the hose to the front, the Power Scrub XL, there's a pump on the side. It's called a quick connect. And what happens with that is that I don't know what's. It's just been a thing. I don't know. Maybe they've corrected it with the new XL, but it's been leaking. Okay, and so when people hook up the hose to it, or not even hook up the hose, you don't even have to hook up the hose. The moment you put your tank on it, the Hoover Power Scrub, it would leak on the right side. Okay, so that video on the channel called "My Hoover Power Scrub is Leaking," it shows a hack to bypass that piece because that piece wasn't being sold readily. So people would have to go on eBay and go to Amazon and see if somebody was selling it and stuff like that. I don't think it's being sold anymore. I would have to double check that. All right. But what you can do is go to a Parts Warehouse and put in your model number for your unit, and then Parts Warehouse is a good place to get schematics. That's, if you know of another place, let me know. But they're very good at schematics, and you can pull it up, and then you'll see if you can that part's available. Most likely, if it's available through Hoover, these guys will get it. They have it. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. I didn't have the front part lined up. So happy. Okay, great. This person is Diana King, and the other one was oh my gosh. Ayuna Batyara. Hope I didn't butcher your name, Ayuna, so my apologies for that. All right, and one more thing. We'll do one more before we go. Oh, wow, this is in Spanish. Holy cow. Well, let me try to translate this. Let me try to translate. Let me try to translate this. Is that Spanish though? It is Spanish, right? Let me try to translate this. Let me see. Let me get a translator. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Let me take a picture of this. Maybe I can get this translated. Okay. And let me see what. Okay, let's see. Oh my God, what's with my phone, man? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do it another way. Golly. There's someone out there that can speak Spanish that can translate this for me right now, but let me see. All right. Let me give me a second, folks. Let me open up the other one. Let me see if there's somebody on that feed that actually know how to translate this, and I just don't. They're not saying nothing. Okay, no one's translating it. All right, no problem. Let's see. Let me go this. New chat. All right, translate. Okay, translate. I'm using one of the AIs right now to translate. Okay, let's see what we got. All right, what are they asking me here? They're asking me, oh my God, what do you mean error? Try again. Okay, here's the translation. Oh, it's in Italian. Holy cow. Okay, hi. Can you explain why the water doesn't come out to the wet floor when washing? I'm desperate. I need the machine because it's always useful, and anyone can help me can identify the problem. Okay, so this is Italian. All right, that's so cool, man. All right, what are we looking at? Which machine is this? The Crosswave. Okay. All right, guys. Well, how do I explain this to this person in Italian? I'm going to have to maybe text them back, but this is what the deal is. Hey, all right, Jax. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, so a Crosswave. Let's look at it. There are three things that can be going wrong with this Crosswave. Okay. Actually, you know what? I have. This is a steam Crosswave, but if I grab this one, I can give you an idea, right? So let me switch over to the overhead for the folks on the other side, and let me do my best to break this down and help this person out. Okay. All right. So give me a second, folks. Let me get this out of the way. I mean, this is I'm just gonna put a new. I'm gonna put this in here, and we put a belt on it, and so this. So this one, you got the. I have to put the belt on, but you get the idea, right? So we're done with this for now. All right. Let me get the. I have a Crosswave, but it's a slightly different kind. It's a steam one, a hydro steam, but the premise is the same. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can explain. Oh, hey! All right, I'm dropping things. Let's see if I can explain the difference. If you're in I have to give a lot of credit to old school telemarketers because man, they had to just work. They had to keep working, and now they just have bots do it. But wow. I give credit to those old school guys who had to keep calling no matter what. All right, so here we go. The first thing I would check is my tank. Okay, you want to make sure that the water can come out of the tank. So what you would do is you get something like this, put water in your tank, okay, and you just press this little button on the inside, right here, okay, and you want to make sure the water, and have it upside down, of course. And you want to make sure that the water can come out the moment you press that button, because it would be a shame if the problem is just this little cap right here. Let me bring this up a little more, because it would be a shame if this is the problem, okay? And you're doing all these other stuff, and the problem is very simple. The next thing, I would say, without you going inside the machine. Now, like I said, this is a different type of Crosswave, but I'm just using this as an example. The handle. The handle is where your trigger is to trigger your. Let me see if I can. If this one is simple to come out. Some of them you just press a button and you can get it out. But let me double check. I don't want to poke it. I don't want to poke it too hard here. Okay, this one should be from the back. Let me see. Come on. This one is not moving. It's not playing with me. Come on, buddy. Oh my Ah, it's going. Yeah, this is, guys. I don't think I'm strong enough right now, but this is what I'm doing right here. See this little button back there, the little black thing? I'm supposed to be pushing that button to get it out. But in that case, it might not be the case with this one. It might just be where I have to go in and do these with this particular guy here. But you're supposed to be able to get this off, because what happens is this guy right here, and the other one is, I think it's, oh man, it could be, I'm trying to remember the other crosswave. It might be on top. This one is at the bottom. It might be up top here, if I can remember properly on the crosswaves. But sometimes the handle is the problem, all right? Okay, next up for spraying. The next thing is the pump, okay? Especially if people use other kind of solutions in it. If you use your home remedy and stuff like that, the home remedy can be an issue. You could end up putting things in it that you shouldn't, like soapy type of residue, and it'll gum up the machine, and then, you know, that's it. So if you notice, Bissell would tell you only use Bissell solution, and you may think, well, they just only want me to buy their stuff. But a lot of times, man, it's just because it's made for a non like soapy solution type of solvent, right? So you don't want to mess with those pumps, okay? So if it's a pump, use as directed, or just use water, okay? Now, most of the time, these people, this is supposed to only use water, I'll be honest with you. But sometimes they have formulas that you can put in these, but they're specifically made for Bissell Crosswave floor cleaners. Let me give you an example of one of them, okay? All right, I got my junk over here, guys. Give me a second. This is an example of a formula that Bissell would make, right? That's like only for, and it tells you it's for the steam mops. It tells you can use it in the shark and everything else, but it's only for that kind of stuff. So you wouldn't use this. You wouldn't use soap, you know, Dawn, you know, Fantastic or whatever. Don't use none of that stuff. All right. So that's really it. And the only other thing I would tell you is just try it. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't even experiment. But try to take off this here, your cover, and see if water tries to come out or something. All right. It's probably not. I think it pokes down. I think that one pokes down into it. I gotta double check, and the water's not gonna come out if the cover's not on. But what's the other way? What's the other thing you can probably do at home? If you're comfortable going in underneath and taking the screws out, separate the water tube from the port that it pops into, and see if the water sprays out of the tube by itself without going through that little port thing. So this way you can eliminate that port as a problem, okay? That's about as far as I can go without you changing the pump, like just talking it through, you know, explaining it. That's probably as far as I can go with that. So it's either the tank, it's either the handle, the pump, which is on the inside of the machine that you're gonna have to, you know, really do some work. And you access the machine from the back. You have the old one anyway. You take out the screws from the back, pop off the panel, and you can actually see the pump right there. Okay. So you may have to swap out the pump. All right. That's an option. All right. And anything beyond that, man, then I'll tell you forget it, because you have a circuit board on the inside of it. You know, I'm not gonna, you know, they don't even sell the board. And if you're good at stuff like that, or you know someone who can test circuit boards and all that, go for it. But other than that, that's it. Okay. I hope that was it. I hope that was good. Hey, Jax, you're back. I hope that was good. I hope that one explained it properly, because, you know, it's hard to just walk you through exactly what will cause your machine not to spray and all that stuff. Um, yeah, but yeah, the simpler machines I like. I like the simple stuff because it's in and out. So if you're thinking about buying simple, some of them, believe it or not, some of the more simple machines now are going to be expensive. Imagine that one. And those are the ones that is just belt. You know, like that this Clean Max here. I think on the market now, the Clean Max is over. It's probably over $400, maybe $399, $400. It's not that it's expensive, but if you're used to buying, and you can get like Walmart special Bissell $59 or whatever on sale. Bissell, you can get those, but honestly, those things are know what you're getting. You know, these are simple ones too. You know, these are simple, but just know what you're getting, and you know, you got to take care of it. You got to take care of them. You know, you got to really take care of these guys if you're gonna go lowball on these. Okay, if you're gonna get stuff like this, take care of it. Okay, that's all. Don't just let it grow rampant, because you're gonna end up buying a lot of them because you're gonna blow them out. You know, so I would tell you to even be more cautious with the Walmart special than you would with, let's say, a Kirby. I would say be more cautious with this one. Take care of this guy even more, okay? Because it can last you a long time. It can. The only thing that would start going on these, I believe, probably the plastic parts will break on you, the pedals and stuff like that. Belts will break, obviously. The brush rolls, if you don't get the hair out of these things, the brush rolls will get to the ends and burn out make this melt and seize up your brush. Things like that you have to be mindful of with these kind of machines here. But they're easy to take care of, easy to fix. The cleaning, it'll clean the dust. It's not a big, heavy grit cleaner, but yeah, you're fine. All right, that's it. That's it, guys. Any more questions? Any more? If you have a question, let me know. Oh man. Let me double check one more and see if I missed anybody here. Hey, thanks a lot. Helpful video. I have a leaking issue with the same part that you are replacing in your video. My question is, how can you be sure that replacing that exact part will fix the problem, or that the leak is not coming from somewhere else? Wow. Oh, let me read more. He has more. To clarify, as soon as let me make sure the guys can see what I'm doing. Hold on. Let me see if I can share this one here. Comments. Okay. Let's see. All right. So to clarify, where am I? I'm right here. To clarify, as soon as I install a play, maybe Jax can help me with this one too, right, Jax? All right. This is about the Bissell Revolution Pet Pro. Okay. Here we go. Let's go back again. To clarify, as soon as I install or place in the clean water tank, the water immediately leaks from the same part you replaced in the video. Could you please explain how to confirm the source? Wow, thanks in advance. Oh my gosh. All right, dude, I would have to show you something. It's really intricate for me to show you what I have to show you. And there's no knowing if you're actually watching this video right now. So let me see if I can share my link with you. Jax, let me see. Hey, if you're ever doing vintage vacuum repair, let me know. Yeah, listen, man, I just, so crazy. I just the lady came to pick up a vintage rainbow I just did. And the bottom of the cord is broken, so I didn't want to give her back the same cord. This is the cord, actually. I'm gonna get back to this guy though. This is the same cord, but this is what she needs. This setup right here, right? And I looked through the stock. I couldn't find it at the time, So now I'm gonna have to I'm gonna do something for her. She asked me to do it for her. She said she still wants this connection because what I did is I gave her something else. I could show you in a second. So and I had to put shrink wrap over it to keep it there. She said, but Wayne, I'm gonna need to take it apart. I like to use my other attachments. I just finished working on it. So now I told her, well, this is what it's gonna look like. If you want me to do this, I'll do this for you like that, so you can keep this piece. Okay? Because the problem was down here. It was like burning out and stuff like that, and it was too short, so I couldn't make it. Anyway. So I'm gonna work on that today. I'm actually gonna go splice that right now, but it's not necessarily working on a vintage. It's just that yes, it is vintage, but it's not really trying to fix the vintage. I'm just splicing the machine. I think you were here last week when I was working on this one, so you probably already saw this one already. But she's picking it up today, and we spoke about it. So this is what I ended up doing. Oh shoot, the other people can't see me right now. And I'm gonna go back to explain what I'm doing to this person here. Okay, let me see. All right, so this is the vintage rainbow from 1949. When we dated this, 1949, and this is what I did. See that? So she's like, well, so I replaced this cord here. This is a new one, and but she wanted to be able to go in and out. So I'm going to end up splicing it right here for her. Okay, I'm going to use because she wanted to pick it up today. So I'm like, all right, I can't even try to see if I can find someone that is actually selling that particular piece. Let me show you the piece I'm gonna use. And she says, yeah, use this, because I had purchased one of these the other day, and it worked like a charm. And so it's gonna sit right here. This little splicer, it's gonna sit right here, and I'm gonna put this side up into this, and I'm gonna put this so we can have this little cradle section right here, that little box section at the top, and we're gonna have that going down into here because this one is just too short. This one's too short to run it all the way down, and I couldn't find one to replace it exactly like this. 1949 machine, still kicking butt today. So this is what I'm about to do. I'm about to splice this here. All right, but it's not necessarily fixing a vintage, but yeah, I went inside this thing. I even had to do something with the on and off switch. It was loose and going nuts, and I had to swap out this thing over here for the had to swap that out. They had something kind of like some molded thing that they had on here to keep this firm and steady, and I had to. A good thing I had one of these. I had to swap that out. But I did all that at the home studio, which I didn't even record that, which I should have maybe. But that's it, man. That's it for vintage. I'm gonna work on that later on today. All right. What was I doing? Okay, so this person want to know how to about that fix. All right, let me give him my link. I'm almost done for today, but I want to see if I can explain this properly, and let me see if I can explain this properly. All right. Let me give him a link to the video. Let me see something. Come on, bear with me here. Exit. Okay, share the link. Share link. Okay. So what I'm going to tell him is I am going to explain it to the best of my knowledge. Okay, hi. All right, give me a second. Let me type this up. Hi, I will explain on this video. Paste. Boom. All right. And reply. Reply. Okay. let's see. Man, there's even another question I didn't even get to yet. All right, let's see if I can answer that question there properly. Okay. All right. Give me a second, folks. Let me. All right. So this guy have a Bissell Revolution Pet Pro. I have a part of a Bissell here that I can probably use. All right. The man is realizing that this question comes up so often. People, and it seems like sometimes it's like you've probably seen every single video that I've done on every single thing. And I have to keep doing the same video over and over again because that's what it is. Okay. This time I'm gonna see if I'm gonna add a little bit more information in this explanation. Okay. If I can find the tank, I'm gonna show you what happens, guys. Give me a second. Don't go nowhere. Just kind of hold on. Hold on a second and be patient with me a little bit. Because if I'm gonna do this right, I gotta go all the way, okay? I gotta go all the way. He could go all the way. Where's my tank? All right, I got my tank right here. All right, I got my tank right here. Okay. All right. Ugh. Damn, I'm gonna hurt myself. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. All right, let's do this. I need a cup. I need a cup. Do I have a cup here? I need a cup. Okay, I got a cup. I got a cup. I got a cup. All right. So let me explain this problem. Let me explain what he's going through right now. So I think I was working on this piece here, and he was talking about if I replace this or replace the stack, which is a white cylinder that sits on this side, if that will fix the leak. Okay, here's a stack. Okay, here's what a stack looks like. All right. Okay. So, how can you tell? Right? Number one, take everything off. Take off your panels. Now, I have videos on my channel that goes through this. There's many. You can just go to my channel, and I don't know if they can do a search through the channel. I can do it on my end, on the studio end, where I can see my videos and I can put them in the title, and it'll pull up the title. In the regular YouTube search, you may have to just go through my playlist, look for Bissell tips, and look for anything that says Bissell Revolution, right? So, the way this works is the moment you put, just like the Hoover, like I was explaining with the little stack on the side, the pet, the moment you put this tank on there, the water is going to run down to the hose connector. The water for the floor is going to wait up top for you to squeeze the trigger. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. All right? Let me see if everybody can see. I'm going to bring this down closer. Bring this down closer. All right. So watch. Watch this. This big heavy port right here, this is for the main water. Nothing is going to leak out of here until I squeeze the trigger. This, though, the water is going to run straight to here without me ever squeezing the trigger. Okay? This is the pump for the hose right here. This is a little section. All right? So the water's going to run here first before I do anything else. So the way I'm going to demonstrate that is I'm going to take this off. Okay? And even if now in the machine, it connects to the stack. This part is connected to like a vacuum section of the thing. This is connected to here. It goes from here to here, and then it goes from here and it splits. All right. Part of it goes towards the clean water tank, and part of it goes towards the pump. Okay. All right. So that's the stack. All right. So let's take this off. All right. Hey guys, I can't really see the chat right now, so just in case you ask me a question, just bear with me, okay? All right. So let's take this off. I'm just gonna pry this hose off here to show you what happens. So if you want to check for the leak, this is the first thing you want to check. You want to make sure that you know what the hell is going on with this water. What, where's the water going and who's doing what. All right. Now, I probably don't even have to take this off, because if the water comes here, it's going to come down in this section over here. It's going to leak all over here. These are the ports. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And this is the water right here for the hose. Okay, so watch what happens. Okay, hold on. I need a clip. Do I have a clamp? Ooh, I have a clamp. Look, I have a clamp. Okay, right now there's no water in here. Okay. All right, so I have my clamp. Right. All right, here we go. Let's put this on. And as soon as I put this on, water is going to start pouring in here. Now, whoever can see this, right? Now, let me lift it up. Hold on. I don't want... And everybody who's over there, see that? the guys know. The guys know what this looks like. The guys like this looks like. Yeah, I know what that is. I'm familiar with that. That's kind of how it happens. All right. So that's what happens, right? So just know that the moment I'm putting this water on, water is flooding down to the floor. If it's leaking before you squeeze any trigger, and you have a stack in your Bissell Revolution Pet Pro, most likely it's coming from the stack. But the way you can find out for sure is to take it off like the way I have here and watch where the water's leaking from. Okay, just look and say, man, if it's leaking from here, then okay, well, look at it. The stack is fine. It goes here. The water seems to be coming out right here. Oh, man, this water's pouring out right here. Then you replace this. Now, like I said, it's not gonna spray until you squeeze the trigger. So this part here, I'm saying, okay. And then because it's waiting here, it's not supposed to spray until you hook up your hose and squeeze the trigger for the hose. All right. Nothing's supposed to happen until you hook up your hose and squeeze the trigger for the hose. That's the understanding of how this works. Okay, that's the understanding how this works. Now, let's say, for example, I'm going a little further into. Let me go to the chat now. I'm going a little further into stuff you didn't even ask about. But let me do one more thing. Let me tell them to go to my. Also check my Bissell tips playlist. Boom. Okay. Reply. All right. Let me shrink that. Let me see where we're at. Okay. All right. Clean up vacuum filters. Any shark. Vacuum is easy. Okay. All right. Hey, Rudy. All right. See you guys later. Okay. So hopefully that explains this problem for this individual. Okay. That's the way a lot of the. How's this? Make this like a rule of thumb to understand. Whether it's a Hoover or Bissell, if there's a hose attachment, okay, if it's a hose attachment and it hooks up down here, okay, the water is going to flow down there and wait. It's going to wait for the hose to be attached before that water goes any further. That's just the way it works. If it's an upright vacuum that has a hose attachment that will allow you to, what do you call it? Connect the hose to the bottom. The water has to flow down to the bottom and pretty much wait until you connect your hose. Okay? So if you have like the moment you put your tank on, it's leaking. Most likely that's where the problem is. Right? Now, if it's leaking out the back, okay? If the leaking is coming from back here, let me just do this so I don't have to keep swapping. How's that? If the leaking is coming from dripping back here, all right, then your auto receiver or something underneath here is where the problem is, and that's kind of how you look at it like that. All right, if it's coming from back here, it could be the tank. possibly, right? Could be the tank, or it could be this auto receiver that is receiving the water, and that's kind of that's how it works. Okay, all right. Any questions? any questions? If there's any questions I can answer right now before I sign off, you gotta let me know. Okay. All right. Anybody's good? Okay. Let me look at the other feed. All right. Brianne, you okay? Where's the other guys? Oh my gosh. It's weird when you just can't see this stuff. It's weird when you can't see this stuff properly. You gotta go back and forth. Okay, well then fine. Well then fantastic. Well then that's that. So what I'm gonna do is this feed here, I'm gonna stop. All right, I'm gonna stop this feed here. I'm gonna say bye to these guys, and I might do something more over here. So, peace. Catch you guys later. All right.
Yes!